Najee Harris doesn't look like he's Najee Harris either. I mean, yesterday he looked like the fat Eddie Lacy pretty much. I think I could step out and outrun him right now. Like that's how slow he looked on the field. He did. I mean, y'all could disagree or agree with me, but like,
no, that was fucking spot on.
All About the Balls podcast with Mark Davis, Chris Meinhardt, Luke Rule, and Nick the Doc Skirkowitz. Welcome to All About the Balls podcast. I'm Mark Davis in the Sack House with Chris Meinhardt, Luke Rule, and Nick the Doc Skirkowitz. Boys, we did our recap of week 2 yesterday. Tonight we are previewing week 3, giving our thoughts on each game, giving our scores out there. But Chris, now it's been a full day heading into week 3. You are 2-0. How are you feeling? Feeling that 2-0 record actually after 24 hours.
Are we talking about fantasy or for Saints?
For the Saints, sorry.
Oh, okay. I'm feeling pretty good. I mean, I wish our offense was clicking better. Our defense is doing outstanding. Our offensive line is fucking. Trevor Penning on the left side is atrocious, but this is literally his third. Yesterday was his third start, so I can't blame the kid. He's going against some big guys to start. Arden Key came from Jacksonville, and then fucking Burns. So I mean, he had some big tests first 2 weeks, but they need to figure out giving Derek Carr a little bit more time in the pocket.
And I noticed you don't have your headphones on. They okay today? They're not broken yet, are they? Luke, you've had a couple days to, reel in this 2-0 record. How are you feeling? The Ravens coming in. Pretty big game. Well, not big game, but good game at home against the Colts. But how are you feeling going in there 2-0?
Yeah, feeling good. I mean, shows the Ravens have pretty good depth overall. Playing without 5 starters last week, and we're going to be playing without 6 starters coming up this next week. Possibly. We just put a cornerback on IR, so he's out for at least 4 weeks.
Jesus.
So our secondary, we got the backups playing secondary again, then backup O-line, but they proved our line and secondary could still hold it down against the high flying Bengals offense.
Yeah,
so
they don't look high flying this year through 2 games. So maybe they're low flying right now at the moment. But they're aiming low.
Our backup secondary against the probably top receiving core, I think they did pretty well.
And Doc, how are you doing? You coming into the week 3 0-2, maybe finally going to get off that schneid a little bit. How are you feeling tonight?
Yeah, it's not going to happen. Feeling good. It's not going to happen. I spoke with the chaplain this week, so we're looking all right.
I'm glad, man. And Chris, before we jump into the news and the headlines, fucking break this down for us. Why is Michael Thomas such a bitch? Why is he, coming at Derek Brown, and then when Derek Brown wants to stand up like a man, he wants to hide and run away?
Hey, look. I don't know who started it, but I mean, if you're going to get in a fight with a 300-pound man and the injury concerns that Michael Thomas has, this man just needs to step on his foot and Michael Thomas's career is over. So I don't blame Michael Thomas for talking shit and kind of walking away back to the locker room.
It's all bark, no bite. I got it. No, all bark, no bite. Understand.
Scared of big boys.
Hey, he's showing out right now, which
he's talking shit and walking away at the same time.
Yeah, he's coming down. He had a big catch. Now, he had a big catch in the game.
Yeah, he had a couple catches. Yeah, he had some catches last night. So, but boys, we have some news to discuss real quick. The Browns are saying that Jerome Ford is their number 1 running back, even though Kareem Hunt did visit. So you guys kind of nailed that yesterday. Kareem Hunt was the first guy that came into the building to visit the Browns. He's got some recent history with them, so he knows the playbook, knows the style. Is it going to be big if Kareem Hunt comes in? If he does come in, should he be the starter over Jerome Ford?
All right, it probably depends on how healthy and how game ready Kareem Hunt is. He may not even thought he's going to play again. So he's had some offers, turned them all down, and I don't know exactly what he's looking for, but he's probably not going to be as game ready as Ford is. So I think Kareem Hunt come in, be like that number 2 running back for them if he wants to.
Yeah, I mean, we'll have to see. Like you guys are all high on Jerome Ford. They sell Pure Strong Jr. as well. Doc, we also saw that the Lions are getting hit on injuries right now. C.J. Gardner-Johnson is just one name that's going to be out for the year. They have a lineman that's out for a few weeks. They have James Houston's out for a few weeks. Bad timing it always hits somebody, and we expect the Detroit Lions to be good, but can the Lions kind of maybe sustain this and be balanced without these injuries and just kind of let Jared Goff and the offense ride?
The offense is definitely going to ride. I think, the issue lies with the defense, regardless of the injuries and what they've got stacking up. I mean, we saw it last year. That was their biggest weak point was having to keep up with the offense from the other side every game after game. So, that was kind of what we were looking at coming into this year again. We've seen some weakness in the secondary, a shootout with Seattle. Close game, low scoring game with in the opener, but with the Chiefs. But the defense is still the concern, and I don't think the injuries are really going to make it any worse than it was. But time will tell.
And Chris, one last headline: the New York Giants, Brian Daboll, the coach, is saying that Saquon Barkley is not ruled out yet, but reports were after Sunday he's going to be out for 2 to 3 weeks. Should the Giants consider sitting Saquon Barkley, especially on a short week on this Thursday night game?
Yeah, I mean they're gonna sit him. I mean it's just all mind games right now to the opposing team. I mean they're going against San Fran, so hey, you got to win when you can win. So make them think Saquon's going to go out there and play, and then doesn't.
Well, speaking of that game, boys, that is the first game. We're going to brief that very shortly, but let's just do a rundown of last week. Luke, once again, the winner of last week at 11-5, so he's got 2 straight weeks of 11-5. Straight up, he's 22-10 for the year. The last week, he actually did better against the spread. He was 12-4. And for the year, he is 21-11 against the spread. I went 10-6, so now I am 19-13 for the year. I went 8-7-1 against the spread, so I'm 15-16-1 against the spread. Doc came in tied with me, 10-6, puts him on 18-14 for the year. The spread, he was 9-6-1, also tied with me at 15-16-1. Chris, another poor week, 8-8, and then you are 17-15 for the season. Against the spread, 5-10-1. You are now 11-20-1. So if you're listening to Chris pick the scores, do not listen to that. Go opposite. I want you to listen, but I want you to just reverse that.
You're opposite.
Yeah, do a 180. Listen to Luke. Right now, Luke is the hot hand. He's 22-10. So Luke, that means you will start us off again. You're going to be the first guy in here. You're going to you're going to lead the way, show us the way, show us the light.
All right.
So let's start it off. We have Thursday night football, the 1-1 New York Giants traveling to Santa Clara to face the undefeated. Yes, I said 2-0, which I don't know why I'm asking Luke because they're going to be 17-0 in his mind. But the 9.5-point favorite, San Francisco 49ers. Who you got, Luke? And what is the score?
Yeah, this is easy money right here. It's gonna be San Fran. So you're showing a 10-point spread, 10.5.
Sorry, not 9.5. Chris's was a little this morning. It flip flopped by the evening time. So I'll say it when we go. But 9.5-point favorites.
Yeah, I don't see New York's offense being able to keep up with the San Francisco offense. So I think I'm going to take the over. I'm going to go 32-17.
Like 32 or 30, like the number 32, or you're saying 32-7?
32, like the number 32.
Okay.
Or 31.
I like your pick.
Yeah.
I like your pick.
32-17, got it.
Yeah, we'll go with that. I like that.
Yeah, Luke, I agree with you, man. Like, this Niners offense high flying. They have the leading rusher through 2 weeks, Christian McCaffrey. He is first place, just above Bijan Robinson out there. Had to throw Bijan in there just because number 2 in the league. But yeah, I mean, Purdy hasn't looked amazing, but like we've already mentioned, we think he's a game manager anyways. But this defense is high flying as well. I think they get back on track this week, have a better performance. I don't think they'd pull a shutout like the Cowboys did, but Nick Bosa and the boys will be eating out there. No Saquon or Saquon, doesn't matter. They're losing. I have it 31-20, covering the spread.
Yeah, I've got them coming in, especially without Saquon Barkley. This team has just looked atrocious this year. I'm taking Buffalo 31-17. I'm sorry, San Francisco. Sorry, I'm looking at the wrong stuff here. San Francisco 31-17. So I like where your head's at, Luke.
Thanks. It's easy. Yeah, just follow my picks, and we'll coast our way in.
Yeah, I mean, fucking San Fran's looking like they're already in midseason form. Brock Purdy's looking amazing out there. They're finally going on to a home game. They had 2 away games. Now they're finally at home, so they get some rest. New York, they had a great second half against the Cardinals, but I still just wouldn't put a lot onto them. I'm having 49ers win 33-14 and covering. So, I mean, bad news that we're all covering, and I'm saying we're covering. So,
I mean, if you're saying that Brock Purdy, by the way, is having a good year, then you might as well say Desmond Ritter's having a good year, Chris. And he's not. He's only got like 70 more yards than Desmond Ritter does through 2 games.
well, I'm not saying Brock Purdy's out here fucking in line for MVP. I mean, I'm saying with Brock Purdy's midseason form.
Yeah, and I know what you mean. I'm just saying, like,
I don't think Brock Purdy has any.
He's having he's in midseason form of being able to manage the team and win games.
Yeah, easy money over there. Just got to dump passes off and just let everybody else do the work.
Check down.
And Chris, I hate to say though, I think your Giants playoff prediction here is not looking good to start the year. By the way,
yeah, I don't know what you're talking about on that. That episode is deleted.
Pull the receipts up.
Yeah, we have them. But moving on, we mentioned the Lions, but this is the game right here. The Atlanta Falcons, the 2-0 undefeated Atlanta Falcons, we travel into the 1-1 Detroit Lions. The Lions are favored 3.5. Luke, we mentioned a lot of injuries right now with Detroit. Where's your head leaning?
Yeah, I think I'll be leading with the home team on this one. I'm going to go Detroit by 3, 17-14.
Yeah, I don't think I don't think the Falcons cover the spread, honestly. I think the Lions win this game 24-20. I'm not saying it's a pretty good game, I think, right there. I think that the Falcons run game is going to keep the Lions off the field, like I keep saying every single week. Our defense actually, surprisingly, I looked at it today, we're 3rd in total yards. So our defense is actually playing pretty good. And we're only giving them 17 points a game, something like that. So it's not bad for us right now. I think our run game helps that too, keeps them off the field. But I do think that the Lions are going to come in there a little pissed off after that, bad loss, I thought, to the Seattle Seahawks in overtime. So I'm going to go Lions 24-20 at home.
Yeah, I'm taking the Lions here. It's going to be real nice. It's got to be real nice saying, the undefeated Atlanta Falcons. Unfortunately, will be for the last time this year. I'm gonna give the Falcons some credit though. It's gonna be a higher scoring game from both sides. Lions really, like we talked about earlier, struggling on defense. I mean, they've given up 363 yards. I know we're early in the season, but 363 yards on defense so far this year per game. So definitely some huge struggles there. So I'm going Detroit 27 to the Falcons 24.
I mean, I'm surprised none of y'all mentioned it yet, but I mean, this is shaping up with Montgomery out to be a battle of the rookie first-round running backs. I mean, you got Jahmyr Gibbs on one side, you got Bijan Robinson on the other side. I mean, they're gonna be fighting out there. So I mean, Ritter looked like he improved a little bit last week on the passing game. Still doesn't look too great, but I think Goff is going to be a better passer at home. I have them winning 27-20.
Yeah, it was a good topic there, Chris. Battle of the running backs. I mean, we could safe to say Bijan's been better. I mean, he's been used probably a lot more. I think Arthur Smith has put him in better spots than the head or whoever the calls the plays out there in Detroit. I think it was Ben Johnson, if I'm not mistaken. But I think now, Gibbs is number 1 for the time being. So we'll see if they can get him being utilized as much.
And he looked great that Thursday against Kansas City. They just didn't play him a lot.
Yeah, that was a big issue. I noticed that as well. Luke, Chris, what was your score? I'm sorry. All right.
It was 27-20. So I have them covering.
Yep. So Doc and Luke has the Falcons covering the spread. So, but they had the Lions winning. So far we're on the Lions and the Niners. Moving on to Luke's team, the Baltimore Ravens. They are hosting. They are 2-0. The Baltimore Ravens are hosting the 1-1 Indianapolis Colts. Luke, the Ravens are favored by 8. Question marks with the Colts quarterback. Anderson is in the concussion protocol. If he's not playing, it'll be Gardner Minshew.
Yeah, I'm obviously going to take the Ravens here. And you guys said it's what, 10 point?
8 point.
8 point.
8 point, yeah.
Eight.
So I got him winning by 10. So just not having – I don't think Anthony Richards is going to play. And if Ravens are preparing for both. If Gardner Minshew plays, it's going to be a fucking slaughter. So they're going to fucking slaughter the Colts offense. And the Ravens defense is going to like put it on them. So I'm going to go 27-17 Ravens.
I do agree that the Ravens will win, Luke, but I don't think they cover the spread. I think that the Colts have shown, in these two games that they can muster up some points. I get it. Minshew came in.
I gave him points. I gave him 17
Oh,
points.
yeah. But I meant it's going to be close enough where they're going to be in the game. I think they were down 10 points to the Jaguars, who I think the Jaguars are a really good team. I get it. AR's playing. I do count on AR playing. I don't think he's going to sit out. We didn't even notice he got hurt.
It's not up to him if he plays or not.
I think he'll pass. I think he'll pass the protocol, though. Like I said, we didn't even notice he had the concussion when he was getting up for his second touchdown. He literally walked off just fine, it looked like. So I think he'll play. I'm banking on that. That's why my score 27-20. I think AR keeps it close with some of your backups in, but the experience of Lamar Jackson and a little bit of chemistry with Todd Monken is going to come in handy here. I have you guys winning by 7.
Yeah, and we're at the bank.
Yeah, at the bank. That's big.
Yep.
At the bank.
Yeah, I'm right there with Mark. I got Baltimore 27-20 as well. I think 312 passing yards against Indianapolis so far this year on defense per game is going to be tough. I think Lamar's going to come out and be able to throw the ball. Looking for a big game on Zay Flowers. Excited to see him show off this week. But yeah, like you said, if AR does play, obviously it affects it. I think AR keeps Indianapolis in the game. We've seen what he can do. I think if he is not playing, then I think Baltimore covers the spread and just absolutely wipes the floor with him. But I'm going to go with 27-20 for Baltimore.
Yeah, the biggest question here is, does AR play or does AR not play? That's game planning for two different complete quarterbacks. Gardner Minshew's more of a pocket passer, where AR is going to run and dice way better than Justin Fields does. But I think the Ravens are going to erase the run game for Indy and make them have to pass it. And Lamar looked great dicing up the Bengals secondary. He's been outstanding looking at that new offense. I have the Ravens winning 30-17.
And I think we should give credit to Anthony Richardson too, boys. I know we hammered him this offseason saying he was not going to be good. We know we want to keep an eye on him, but I think through 2 weeks, I get it was a limited two weeks because last week, but he's looked pretty impressive. He's looked pretty good.
Yeah, he looked pretty accurate too. His accuracy is his biggest problem in college. He's putting balls on target. So
I don't know. I'd say he's right on par with what he did in college. 30 of 47. I don't know what that number is off the top of my head, but I wouldn't say it's anything. I know it's less than 75%, which is pretty good for a quarterback.
Yeah. You're throwing 40 times a game. You're throwing over 40 times a game. You're going to have a lot of incompletions.
63%? Yeah. So, I'm sorry, less than 66% because it's 30 or 45 would have been 66. So, yeah, 63% isn't terrible, but 279 yards, one passing touchdown. He's throwing a pick. He's showing the versatility that he had, what drove his stock up in the combine. But I'm not seeing it in the arm still. I'm still seeing the typical Florida play. I got to see improvement there. I got to see a better quarterback.
Yeah, and the Ravens are going to hit him with some pretty exotic defenses, as they usually do against rookies. So you're going to confuse him a little bit. And you saw Burrows looking confused too.
And how fortunate the Ravens got to play 2 of their first 3 games against rookie QBs at home too. Yeah. Good start for the Ravens there.
Maybe we're playing a rookie. Maybe we're not playing a rookie.
Let's be honest. Gardner Minshew's pretty much playing like a rookie.
He had a good year in Duval County one year.
Yeah.
He did.
In Duval.
The beard. The mustache.
He's looked better than Joe Burrow has this year, and he's only played 1 game. But moving on, the Tennessee Titans, the 1-1 Tennessee Titans, got a win last week against the Los Angeles Chargers. We travel into the 1-1 Cleveland Browns, who took a tough loss last night against the the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Browns are favored by 3 points. Remember, no Nick Chubb. Jerome Ford is the new number 1 running back for the time being.
Yeah, so this one I'm going to take the upset on this. I think Tennessee, we saw it last week. They can beat these high-power teams. I was pretty low on Tennessee at the beginning of the season, but how they played last week, and they competed pretty well against the Saints as well. So I'm going to pick Tennessee in a close one. Just that Cleveland offense, it's not doing it for me. They have good defense, but Watson can't get it figured out. Plus the run game's no Nick Chubb, so they take a big hit on that. So I got Tennessee 21-17.
Yeah, Luke, I'm opposite. I was flipping back and forth. I was like, damn, Tennessee.
Yeah,
I said
just
that
go either way. But
they're a well-coached team. Mike Vrabel is one of the best coaches in the league. Not like as in like playoff wins and all that, but he's the lack of talent he's had as a coach, and he's gotten to the AFC Championship. He's won playoff games. I respect him. I think that the defense for the Cleveland Browns is going to carry them. I think they're going to cause some turnovers possibly on their side of the 50, and that's going to give short field for Deshaun Watson and the horrible offense they have. I mean, and I wouldn't say it's a horrible offense. I think it's a horrible QB. I think if you have a different QB in there, I think that QB can use these weapons. I don't think Cooper's bad. I don't think Peoples-Jones is bad. I think Tillman's a decent rookie receiver. You have Njoku. Yeah, you have no Nick Chubb, but like Doc says, this offensive line is built to run the ball. So I don't think Jerome Ford's going to go out there and be Nick Chubb, but give me 60% of Nick Chubb, and I think they can win this game with the defense. It's going to cause turnovers. Give me the Cleveland Browns in an ugly game, 20-16.
Yeah, I'm not too worried about no Nick Chubb. It's definitely a huge loss for Cleveland, but we saw Ford come out. We saw a lot of flashes from Ford come out. Still, what did he put up? 96 yards rushing in that game. So I mean, still phenomenal performance by him. They're still averaging over 200 yards a game on the ground. But the passing is atrocious. Deshaun Watson needs to figure this out. I don't know if we're still on this whole, hey, came back from suspension, first full season, kind of getting back into the groove really now. I mean, it's time to lace up and get the job done. I mean, this is absolutely terrible. He's got weapons in that team. No reason why he's not putting passing yards through the air. And this defense is locked down. I mean, this defense is going to carry this team. So I'm taking Cleveland 24-22. I think like you said, Mark, I think the turnovers are worrisome, and I think it's going to give Tennessee short fields. Kind of opposite what you said, though, but I think it's going to give Tennessee short fields. That's going to get them points on the board. That's why it's going to happen. But
you have Browns winning.
Yeah, Browns winning 24-22.
Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah, this game was so hard to pick. I mean, it's hard when you have a team that looks like shit week 1 and then comes out and has a great game week 2, and it's like, what Ryan Tannehill are we going to get? I mean, the Titans look like a completely different team with the overtime win against the Chargers. They finally got Derrick Henry involved. I mean, 25 carries. I know he only got 80 yards, but I mean, that makes a difference out there. Tannehill looked better, passing 20 for 24, 1 touchdown, 0 interceptions. So big turnaround from his 3 interceptions from week 1. But I mean, Cleveland Browns, God, Watson. I mean, the play calling, Watson. I mean, like I was saying last night, it was like Watson either looks like he drops a dime on the receiver or he's throwing 30-plus yards away from the receiver. There is no middle ground.
Ones yesterday.
There's no middle ground.
Fucking bad ones.
There's no middle ground. And then is Will Ford going to be able to take over that number 1 spot? Like, that role that Nick Chubb has is huge. I know their Hunt is coming back, but will he come back for this game? Probably not. But I think that's the route that Cleveland's going to go. Hunt already knows the offense. But I have the upset like Luke. I have Titans winning 23-20.
Well, and I don't remember what we talked about in the offseason coming up to the season and everything, and kind of what our stance is on running backs, or what the general stance is on running backs and stuff. I mean, they've got an offensive line built for running the ball, so it's one of those plug and play. You just got to put somebody in there. I mean, Nick Chubb is definitely going to do a better job. There's no question about that. But you put Ford, or you put who the hell's the other guy? I got him on my fantasy. I'm drawing. Yeah, Pierre Strong. You put him in there, and I mean, you're going to get results. It's not going to be as good as what Nick Chubb can do, is 10 carries for 200 yards like we've seen so many times, or 15 carries for 200 yards like we've seen so many times, breaking out in that 80-yard run. But I think the run game is going to do just fine producing this week.
He'll keep an eye on it for sure. I mean, shout out to you, Daddy Aaron. I'm rooting for the Cleveland Browns. I don't know about the other two that chose Tennessee. Just remember who your friends are and who your enemies are as well. So sounds like me and Doc are on your side. But
yes, sir.
Moving on to the 0-2 Denver Broncos. They are a Jekyll and Hyde type of team, boys. Start off hot, and then they disappear in the second half. They are 6.5-point underdogs traveling to South Beach to face Tua, Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, and the Miami Dolphins. Luke, lead us off here.
Yeah. I think it's going to be the 0-3 Denver Broncos after this game. I think Miami's just going to they're too fast on offense. Tua's going to throw up some short short, deep passes out there. So Tyreek's going to come run back, pick it up, and run it for a touchdown.
I love
Yeah.
the
Short, deep
Love it,
passes.
dude. We'd love to see that.
Love those short,
So,
deep ones.
yeah, he's gonna underthrow him quite a bit, but I think they're gonna run all over the fucking Denver defense. And Russell Wilson, I don't know what the fuck he's doing out there. Sometimes he has his flashes of his old self, and if he gets off script, like, he just fucking looks lost.
Dude, he's
Like,
looked lost since fucking
yeah.
Seattle.
So I have no faith in the Denver offense, and Miami's defense has looked pretty solid so far. Yeah, they've been in a couple close games. Yeah, I mean, they're good enough.
Almost 400 yards against.
Well, that was
Yeah,
one game, not against the Raiders though.
Yeah.
No, it was much better that one.
So I got Miami 28, Denver 10.
Oh my god.
Jeez.
Well, yeah, I have a little bit of respect for the Broncos as scoring wise. I mean, because I give them
17. I give them 17, 28-17. Yeah, so I give them 11 point.
I think that the Broncos
Breaking news
defense,
real quick. Nick Chubb might need 2 surgeries for his injuries. That's tough.
And
That's
I saw a
tough.
report too. This is the same leg he injured, I think, in college as well. So
I saw that picture.
Yeah.
Oof,
So
2015.
and we actually, I want to address that when we get done with it. Maybe kind of like the last couple minutes we have of the show. Let's address that. But I respect the Broncos a little bit more, Luke, with their defense. I do. I get it. They had a bad game against Commanders, and sometimes bad defenses have bad games. You saw the Niners start off really slow against the Rams' offense Sunday. They picked it up. Opposite effect for the Broncos. I do think that the Broncos will start off a little decent against the Dolphins. Also, I want to see which Dolphins defense we're going to get because they gave a lot of points to the Chargers, and then they did really good against the Patriots. So which Dolphins defense are we going to see week 3? That's the key. I have no problem with Tua and Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle. I have it 27-20. I think Russ keeps it close in the first half, and then the offense for the Miami Dolphins mixed with the defense will kick in the second half. So give me Dolphins by 7.
Hopefully Waddle plays too. He's in concussion protocol right now too.
Shit.
Yeah, I got a whole lot less respect for Denver than that. I think with what Miami's given up on the ground, 160 yards a game, if they can incorporate the run game right and open up opportunities for Wilson, I think it can help to close the gap. But no, I mean, Russell Wilson is in this elite tier of quarterbacks, similar with Ryan Tannehill, similar with Deshaun Watson. I mean, you just don't know who you're going to get, and I think that it's been this way since he came over from Seattle. We were hoping Sean Payton could figure him out and get him back on track, but we haven't. He's looked better this year. I'll give him that. He has looked better this year, but we haven't really seen flash of the pass from Russell Wilson. But no, I got a lot less respect. I'm going Miami 35-20.
Yeah, I mean, Denver's coming out fucking desperate for a win. I mean, starting 0-2, especially against lesser opponents. I mean, Sean Payton's not too unfamiliar with that, though. I mean, he always has the Saints starting out slow. And, another question was it really Sean Payton over New Orleans, or was it Drew Brees? Because, I mean, Sean Payton looks like he's having some trouble with Russell Wilson, but that defense looks – I mean, they're in position to win every game, and then the defense just lets it go. I have this as my lock of the week. I think you mentioned, Mark, the Miami's defense. I think Vic Fangio is doing great. I mean, first game against the Chargers, letting 233 rushing yards, and then coming around with the Patriots and only allowing 88. I mean, that's not just a defense. That's your coach changing shit up. That's your coach doing. Improvement. Yeah, that's your coach doing what they brought him in to do over in Miami. So I have full trust in Miami's defense, and I have a little bit wider of a spread. I have Dolphins winning 38-17.
Ooh, all right. I'm not the worst. I'm not the most disrespectful. Okay.
And like I said, I just want to see the Dolphins defense. Like we said, it's 2 weeks. So like you mentioned with teams starting off bad and then coming in really good. So I want to see the consistency. Maybe that 230, whatever you said, was an outlier at the end of the year. Maybe that's the one big game they gave up and it got fixed before Jalen Ramsey came back. So like I said, they'll have Ramsey back later too. So, but I want to see the Dolphins defense right now. I want to see it fixed. I think the Broncos will be a good, decent little test. But moving on to this game right here. I don't know how I feel about this one, guys. Are they 0-2 New England Patriots traveling to MetLife to face the 1-1 Zach Wilson New York Jets? The Patriots are favored by 2.5 points. Honestly, a hard game to predict here, in my opinion.
Yeah, I'm going based off of the Patriots we saw last week, and they played a decent game against Miami. Like they were in the game for the most part. So I think Belichick's going to scheme up some stuff for Zach Wilson. So I'm going to take Patriots by 3, 17-14 over the New York Jets.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a little more scoring, but a lot of field goals, Luke. It's kind of similar to what you just had. I have it 23-20. I think the Patriots defense is going to come out, confuse the living hell out of Zach Wilson. I mean, we know Bill Belichick can do it. I know Garrett Wilson is raving that, the losing skid's unacceptable, even though it's really one game, so it's not really a skid. It's just one little mark on the record. But I think Belichick's going to take away Garrett Wilson. Dalvin Cook and Breece Hall looked like trash last week. And I think add that to the pile, too. I think Belichick will take him away. I think Mac Jones will do just a little better than Zach Wilson will against the Jets defense. So give me the Patriots by 3 points.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I think Mac Jones has been a lot more fun to watch this year. It seems like he's passing the ball better. He's got, more solid weapons. Everything's kind of coming together for him in New England. I know there was a lot of talks about them pushing him out of town and kind of handcuffing him and trying to make him look bad. But no, they seem to have come to some kind of an understanding in New England. So I'm excited for that. But I think Zach Wilson's going to come out and do Zach Wilson things. I'm taking what did I have here? I'm taking Patriots over the Jets 24-21.
Okay. I mean, look, Mac Jones and the offense, they haven't looked bad. They flashed at times, but I mean, they've shot themselves in the foot many of times. And that's probably why they're 0-2. And then the Jets, I mean, they're going to have to win games with the running game and the defense that they have. They have to get Cook and Hall involved more in the run game. Last week was I mean, I know you're going against Dallas' defense, and they're the best defense right now in the league. But having your leading rusher be fucking Zach Wilson is a shame. I mean, Hall had four carries.
When you got a running back core like that, there's no excuse for that.
Yeah, Hall had 4 carries for 9 yards, and Cook had 4 carries for 7 yards. I mean, I don't know what Nathaniel Hackett out there was thinking. I mean, especially when you have Zach Wilson as your fucking quarterback.
Zach Wilson,
you need to lean on that run game. Heavy.
Zach Wilson was going to
heavy.
him up. That's what
That was not the game plan. But I do think that this is going to come down to the Jets leaning more on that run game, getting Hall involved, the right workload, and I have them actually upsetting. I have the Jets winning 2017.
Ooh. Chris is the only one on the New York Jets this week.
Interesting.
Moving on.
Stays.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, as bad as this game's going to be, I know odds are going to be all over it just because it's Zach Wilson. And I saw a thing from Mike Greenberg today. He said, screw it. The Jets should go after Kirk Cousins. Just get somebody fucking over there. Convince the Vikings to get rid of Kirk Cousins, who's going to be gone probably next year anyways. So, I mean, every Jets fan is desperate for a QB right now. That's not named Zach Wilson.
But, I mean, if the Jets think that A-Rod's coming back for playoffs or next year, why would you go after Kirk Cousins?
I don't think the Jets think he's coming back. I think Rodgers said it just to keep his name relevant. I love what Aaron Rodgers has been doing, but let's be honest. You're not coming back from a torn meniscus in fucking 4 months, 5 months.
The only thing that has me leaning towards that Rodgers will come back is that his whole life is football. He doesn't have wife. He doesn't have kids. All he has is football. It's not like a Tom Brady situation where Tom Brady has a wife that divorced him because he chose the game over her and has kids, It's not like these old quarterbacks that have families and hey, I need to spend time with the family. This is his family. This is A-Rod's life. And fucking smoking mushrooms and fucking staying in the
I have no doubt he's coming back next
hours.
year. I have no doubt that A-Rod's coming back next year, but no, I think the Jets absolutely need to get out there and get after a quarterback. They need to find something better than Zach Wilson. Zach Wilson was a great idea when you had Aaron Rodgers healthy, but now that you're in the thick of it, you're like, holy shit, we fucked up. We need to have a better contingency plan and going after. What does Cousins have left on his deal? Is this his last year?
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty much last year. And fun fact, maybe the New York Jets should have drafted Mac Jones over Zach Wilson during that draft. Pretty sure it was the same draft.
That would have been interesting.
Yeah, but moving on, if I would have told you that this game featured a 2-0 team and a 1-1 team, you would not think the Buffalo Bills were the 1-1 team. But yes, the Buffalo Bills, the 1-1 Buffalo Bills traveling to DC. to face the Washington Commanders. The Buffalo Bills are 6.5-point favorites on the road.
Yep, and I am going to give them – I think they're going to cover that with a 7-point win. So I'm going to go 27-20 Buffalo in Landover, Maryland. I think what they showed last week is they still got it. Like their first week is a slow week as it was for a lot of other teams. So I think the Bills still got it. They got a good defense. Offense still solid. Maybe Diggs is going to calm down with how much attention he wants. Gabe Davis got a little bit of action last week too. So and Baby
James
Cook
killing it.
Yeah, Baby Cook had a good game. So I think they continue on that trend, and I think Washington's got lucky. They've been able to pull off the 2 wins early, but I think this is where that streak ends.
Yeah, I agree with you, Luke, that the Bills will score 27 and win this game. I just don't think they cover the spread. I think that the Commanders' defense, especially the defensive line, is one of the best defensive lines in football. I think they're going to cause a little bit of chaos out there. I think that they're going to keep the game close. I liked what Sam Howell did last week as well in the second half. I liked what Brian Robinson did in the second half as well. Now let's see what they do against the Buffalo Bills, who have a much, much better defense than the Denver Broncos, even though I respect their defense, but Buffalo's way better. But interested to see Sam Howell. I want to see the kid. If he keeps the game close and they lose, hey, that's a good sign for me and him moving forward with this team. But give me the Buffalo Bills, the more experienced Josh Allen, the more electric offense. Buffalo Bills 27-21.
Yeah, and if Howell doesn't come out and play well, then Chris, we can reignite that trade talk. But
we can talk about it.
yeah, no. But Josh Allen last week looked real sharp, 31-37. It was prime Josh Allen that we're used to, 274 yards, 3 scores. I mean, everything that you love to see from Josh Allen. I think that, like Luke said, week 1 I think was just slow across the board for the NFL. So I'm not going to hold week 1 against a whole lot of people, except for maybe the Giants, because that was just god awful. But I think Washington's defense doesn't contain Buffalo as well. I think they definitely hold them a little bit. I'm going Buffalo 29-21 or 29-20.
Yeah, I don't have it close.
29-21.
I don't have this game close, but I definitely think this could be one of the games where at the end of the day you're like, damn, did they really pull this off? Like, I think this could be a lot closer game than we're looking at. The Bills did look like they got their explosive offense back last week when they were at home. Week 1, that was rough. 9-11 in New York, Aaron Rodgers' first game for the Jets, and then he goes and snaps his shit. I know that's going to affect the Jets, but that could also affect the opposing team. I think it was rough. I don't think Sam Howell has enough in him to keep up with this high-passing offense with Josh Allen and Diggs and Gabe and all them players out there. So I do have the Bills winning 31-17.
The disrespect of Sam Howell continues.
Hey, look. I have him on my dynasty. He's doing great for me. I think he's.
Do you play him?
Yeah, I play him.
No, okay.
That was my only second quarterback. Now I got T-Law, which I switched out. Howell's on my bench now this week.
Yeah, so you moved on. You don't even need him anymore. Moving on, though, the 2-0, Chris, I can say about your team, too, the 2-0 New Orleans Saints traveling to Lambeau Field to face the 1-1 Green Bay Packers. The Packers are favored by 2 points.
Yeah, this was a tough one. So you saw, you don't know what Green Bay is going to get here either. Green Bay looked outstanding the first game, but was it just how bad Chicago was or how good Green Bay was? Then first half against the Falcons, Green Bay also started off hot and just couldn't finish the game against the Falcons. But now they're in Lambeau playing, and Saints are out in the open conditions. No dome over them. So I think Green Bay is going to pull it off in a close one against the Saints. I'm going to go 27-24 Green Bay.
Yeah, Luke, I agree with you. I don't know which way this game's going to go. It kind of reminds me of the Titans-Browns game.
Yeah, I could easily flip the scores the other way, too. So it's a toss-up, but I'm going to go Green Bay.
Not saying it's going to be an ugly game like the Titans-Browns, but it's that kind of feel. I just don't know what to think here. I also don't know what to feel about the New Orleans Saints offense. They have so much talent around them. And I get it. They made some key plays at the end of both games against the Titans and against the Panthers. But let's be honest, the offense hasn't looked as sharp as we thought. At least I thought it was going to be. I get it. Alvin Kamara's not back yet. This is the last game of his suspension. And they do have running back problems as well. We just mentioned earlier in the show, Jamal Williams is out for a little bit. So what's going to happen with the run game? The Packers defense does look a little improved out there. I mean, they were doing decent, like I said, Luke, against the first half of the Falcons game. They looked good against the Chicago Bears. But I just don't know what Saints team I'm getting here. I'm going to ride with the Saints because I said they were going to start off like 6-0, 7-0. But I'm going to go Saints 23-20, walk-off field goal at Lambeau Field for the rookie kicker.
Boy, groupie.
Yeah, I'm right up there with you. Saints, I think we've seen some inconsistencies, but I think this offense is too strong to fold to a team like the Packers. I think Carr comes out, does just fine. Need a lot of points from Shaheed this week. That would be fantastic. But the defense is what's really been solid for New Orleans so far this year. And I think the Packers, that late game struggle with the Falcons last week, kind of exposed a little bit with them, but I think it's going to be a low-scoring game because we have seen the offense, like the scoring struggles. The New Orleans Saints have done a great job moving the ball, just not getting points on the board, so I'm going to go New Orleans 21-19.
Yeah, this was a tough game right here, and I mean, as a Saints fan, I want to go Saints, but I mean, Green Bay's finally at home after 2 road games. The Saints, I mean, the defense looks phenomenal under Dennis Allen once again. The offense, I mean, the trouble's the O-line. I mean, Derek Carr is getting pressured every other drop back. And not only that, it looks like Derek Carr's first read is always Michael Thomas and trying to force him the ball. And looking back at some of the highlights, like you have Olave or Shaheed.
You got to get to Shaheed, dude.
Yeah, you have them open down the field somewhere else, but he's trying to force Thomas the ball. So I think, and it's all about getting in sync with your wide receivers and the running back troubles. I mean, once fucking Williams went out, Taysom Hill came in and stepped up and was a phenomenal running back for us once again. Shout out to that fucking man that does it all out there.
He's a beast.
I think he might be, honestly.
I think he is. I think he's, let me see. Yeah, I think it's 12 carries for 79 yards. Impressive.
Yeah, I mean, he had a big 10-yard run at the end of the game to close it out. I mean, I don't know what Dennis Allen was thinking letting them just drive down the field to get that last second touchdown. But, hey, and then Green Bay, like y'all said, I mean, what Green Bay are we going to fucking get? Are we going to get what they did in Cleveland, or not Cleveland, fucking Chicago?
No, I think you're going to get closer to the 151 yards that he got against the Falcons.
Yeah, I mean, and then is the health going to come back? Is Jones coming back? Is Watson coming back? Like, there's a lot of health concerns over there. I know, Mark, you didn't agree, but I think the offense looked completely different without Aaron Jones back in the backfield when they went against the Falcons. I do have the Saints winning 24-21, and then I told Paige I'd give her a shout out. Hey, she did her picks this week all by herself. I didn't help her.
What?
Yep.
Let's go.
Yeah. I have it right here.
Are we getting the fifth co-host? Are we getting the fifth co-host?
Hey, we might. I mean, all our picks so far, actually, we lined up. I didn't want to shout her out, but she did pick Tennessee over Cleveland. I didn't want to shout her out for that one.
That's the only one you have different so far?
Damn,
no, I have Tennessee. I've Tennessee winning.
Does she hate her? Does she hate her dad's team? Does she? Is there something going on in this household?
No. Like I said last night, she loves the Browns. She just hates Deshaun Watson. She hates Deshaun Watson. Yeah, but I think everybody in Cleveland hates Deshaun Watson. But back to it real quick.
What we've seen from him,
yeah. But she does have. She went Green Bay on this one, which I don't blame her. I was leaning Green Bay because I could see this as a trap game for. I mean, I know Green Bay's favored. Yeah. I know they're favored, but New Orleans should win this game.
She's trying to start a fight with you, huh?
I think them playing in Lambeau helps the favor out. Like if they're playing in New Orleans, I'm definitely picking Saints to win.
I would have taken Green Bay if they were in Lambeau in the winter. If they weren't in typical Lambeau conditions, I would have taken Green Bay. But
Saints are a fair weather team.
Yeah.
Hey, we went out and won in Tennessee. Outside in the nature.
So cold and
Lambeau's just different in icy, snowy conditions. Lambeau is like the field of the North, like that in Buffalo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But let's move on here, boys. We have the Houston Texans, the 0-2 Houston Texans. CJ Stroud, by the way, top 5 in passing yards through 2 weeks, traveling to Duval County to face the 1-1, 9.5-point favorites. Jacksonville Jaguars come off an ugly loss to the Chiefs.
Yeah, this is gonna be the Jags. Jags are gonna win this one, pretty easily, I think. I mean, Houston's gonna put up a little bit of a fight at the beginning of the game, probably keep it close up until halftime. Then I think the Jags finish them off at the end over in Duval County. So I'm gonna go Jacksonville 28-20.
Yep. So that means you have they don't cover the spread, but Luke, I'm with you on the same score. I have 28-20 as well. I think that the Houston Texans will keep it a little close, just because it's the division game. You know, maybe I don't say it's a huge rivalry because the AFC South I don't believe is a true rivalry conference or division, but I think the Jacksonville Jaguars have a bounce back game on offense. I think Calvin Ridley, Evan Ingram. I know Christian Kirk had a huge game, but I expect Ridley to bounce back. I know Trevor Lawrence didn't look too impressive. But give me the Jaguars, 28-20. Also interested to see what CJ Stroud does back-to-back weeks against a division opponent. So
I'm going to go on a limb here. I am going to go with my upset of the week. I am taking the Houston Texans, 26-24. CJ Stroud was so much fun to watch last week. If he comes out playing that same way, sky's the limit for him. I think that Houston just needs to get the run game involved more and open up the field. CJ Stroud is making a lot of pass attempts to get the yards that he's getting, but looking very solid. 626 yards. The accuracy obviously is something that needs to come into check, but that's where running the ball and doing some more play action can help make that easier for you. But I think the struggles with Jacksonville, with Trevor Lawrence more specifically last week, and that inconsistency, I mean, he's got to come out swinging. He's got to come out ready to fire. And if he has a game like he did last week, he's not winning this football game. I mean, Houston is showing that's Stroud's coming into his own form pretty early so far. And again, we're 2 weeks in, so we're obviously going off of just what we've seen so far. But Stroud can run away with this, and he can absolutely make this an upset game.
Listen, Doc, if Trevor Lawrence has a game like he did last week, you might see Trevor Lawrence on the trade block again.
You might only get $5 for him. $5 and maybe a third round in 26.
You might see him on the trade block again.
I'll give you a second rounder.
I need at least my first back.
I think the biggest thing for Jacksonville, I think, is just the inconsistencies. I mean, Calvin Ridley went off. What was it week 1 or last week?
Week one.
Week one. Zay Jones went off week 1. Zay Jones got goose egged last week. I mean, the inconsistencies are really showing, and we saw kind of flashed that last year too. Like Jacksonville could have been so much better last year, and we saw some issues there. So, Trevor Lawrence, great quarterback, but he's got to find that rhythm, and he's got to be able to hold stride.
Yeah, I mean, I have to give a shout out to Houston's coaching staff. I mean, they're letting CJ Stroud. They know that they're not in competition for anything. They know they're not making the playoffs. So
and they don't have a first-round pick this year.
Yeah, so they're letting this young man fucking go out and just fucking ball and learn the NFL, and he's going out there and fucking throwing it. He's like, fuck it. So, I mean, they're letting him learn, which big shout out to Houston for letting them do that. I think Texans defense is terrible against the run, so I think Lawrence and Travis Etienne are going to have a fucking fantastic game. I think CJ Stroud
have a good game.
I hope for Trevor Lawrence to have a good game. I bench Sam Howell for him, and Sam Howell hasn't let me down. So, I mean, I think CJ Stroud. Oh, I'd fucking dude.
That rush defense ain't looked too bad. 118 yards against the game. I mean, the pass defense has been good at 198, and that's another thing. Jacksonville's coming. I know that he faced Patrick Mahomes last week, but 264 yards a game against in the pass defense. If CJ Stroud comes out passing like he did last week, I mean, all he's got to do is dial in the accuracy and get those, the higher completion percentage, and he can absolutely run away offensively. Now the rest of the team just got to come together, but Nico Collins doing a hell of a job this year. 13 for 226 already in a score. It was nice to see him battle back against an early takeoff by Indy last week and see Houston battle back.
Yeah, I think CJ Stroud's going to keep this game interesting. I think Jags win 27-20, but I have Houston plus the 9.5, or if it changed already.
I had
Before we move
Jacksonville
on,
originally 26-21, but I'm changing it to the upset. I'm taking Houston. Like I said, 26-24. I'm giving this my upset of the week.
two fun stats before we move on real quick. Dameon Pierce last week, 38 rushing yards after contact, had 31 total rushing yards.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They got to get the run game going.
And also another crazy stat, but speaking of the Ohio State quarterback, C.J. Stroud, he's played 2 career starts, got his first 300-yard game last week. Former Ohio State quarterback before him, Justin Fields, 27 career starts, no 300-yard games. Go C.J. Stroud. Moving on, the next game,
You don't have to
the
bring
Los
that up,
Angeles
dude.
Chargers
You don't have to bring that shit up.
going off to the north to face the Minnesota Vikings. Is an even split, Luke, so there's no points here. I mean, it's winner take all. Who you got?
Yep. So I think this is where the Chargers get their first win. Yeah, I get it. They're going up to Minneapolis, but I think this must win almost for like the Chargers at this point. Like they've been in 2 very, very close games, battling out. Like if their head coach wants to keep his job, he's got to win this game. So I think it's gonna be a shootout. I'm hoping for a shootout because I have Justin Herbert and Justin Jefferson. So I need the ball flying both ways. So I'm gonna give it Chargers 38, Minnesota 31.
And I think both teams, Luke, like you said, mentioned the Chargers, they both need to win. They're both 0-2.
Yeah.
Something's got to give. Someone's going to win their first game. Someone's going to go 0-3. And we know if
Defenses
you go
aren't that great.
Vikings defense isn't horrible. They had 4 sacks last week. I know
They're looking a hell of a lot better than the Chargers defense.
Vikings defense isn't that bad. They were in bad spots last week because of the offense. But I'm opposite, Luke. I'm going Skull Nation. I'm going Vikings. I think that the Minnesota Vikings bounce back here, 27-24 at their home ballpark here. Go Kirk Cousins for the week. I'm going 27-24 Skull.
Yeah, I'm first of all, I want to go back. I want to make a change on a pick. I'm going to take the Detroit Lions over the Atlanta Falcons, 112-3. That's what I think is going to be the score there. But no, I'm with you, Mark, on Minnesota. I think this passing offense at home is going to be too good. I think that they need to just drop Madison, put him on the bench, let the next 2 come in and kind of share the role and get in the carries, because Madison just has not looked good so far this year on running the ball. But that defense for the Chargers is the biggest concern for me, looking like Swiss cheese out there. Really, anybody can come out and get yards against this defense. So 356 pass yards a game against the Chargers is very scary to think about, but I think that playing at home for Minnesota, I think that they're going to come together and they're going to do just fine pulling this one off. I'm going to take Minnesota. I think I got them 27-25.
Yeah, I have this game being a fucking high-scoring game. I have it being just lights out on offense, which, hey, I hope for fantasy. I got JJ on Dynasty. I got Keenan Allen on redraft. So, I mean, big game for those boys, hopefully. But Chargers like to blow close games late, and the Vikings like to pull out close games late.
They do.
So I'm gonna take the team that likes to pull the games out. So I'm gonna take Vikings 38-34.
We love a good pullout.
Luke, you're the only one on the Chargers this week. Moving on to the 0-2.
That's why I'm winning this week's.
Yeah, I mean, it's bounced back for us, the 3 of us this week. But moving on, the Carolina Panthers, the 0-2 Panthers, traveling to Seattle, 12th man, Ruckus Stadium, to face the 5.5-point favorite Seattle Seahawks and a nice bounce back win last week against the Detroit Lions. Luke, where are you going here?
Yeah. So I mean, I think it was pretty easy. I think we're all gonna probably think the same way on this. Seattle at home. It's definitely
Carolina.
Oh well.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Now you guys pick Carolina then.
That's why they're losing.
Yeah. So I'm going Seattle. Seattle at home. Pretty clear win for them. I think it's be 28-20. Seattle. Carolina's offense, like they haven't proved they can really get the ball moving consistently. I think Seattle's good defense. I think the offense is going to keep rolling after that win last week. So I got Seattle going for the win.
Yeah, I have Seattle winning too, Luke, 30-21. Not much to say here. I think that the offense will look decent. Panthers defense hasn't been that bad, honestly, through 2 games. But I'm going to go Seattle 30-21. I think the offense gets going. Walker eats, DK eats, the whole offense eats there. and the defense will do pretty good against the
DK.
Panthers. I got them, like I said, 30-21.
Yeah, I'm taking Seahawks as well. I'll give the score out here right away. 24-17, I think Seattle covers. I don't think this is going to be even close for them. The only concern that I have is Seattle needs to get the run game involved, needs to do a better job moving the ball on the ground. The pass defense for Carolina has been very impressive this year, 175 yards against per game. So, Gino's got to take that into consideration. If he finds a hole, great, but don't try to force it because they've been playing very well. Get that ball on the ground, open up the passing game, do better than you did against the Lions. That game should not have been that close.
Look, Panthers turning around on a short week to take a long trip over to Seattle. That's going to be rough on the team. Panthers O-line is struggling right now to keep pressure off Bryce Young. It looks like every other play he's on the ground. He also, I don't know if y'all saw the video where he lined up behind, the guard?
Yeah.
And not the center, and Miles Sanders had to push him over. So
that's embarrassing.
A lot of things going on in his mind. I'm taking Seahawks 27-17. I think the biggest advantage right now for Gino is his offensive weapons. Right now you have Bryce Young throwing to his number one wide receiver, Adam Thielen, who's 33 years old, when you have Gino throwing into DK, Lockett, Smith. So I
love DK.
Yeah, so
you said 27-17, correct?
Yep.
All right,
this team is lost offensively. 149 yards a game.
I know you, Chris, and you, Doc, had the Dolphins and Broncos as potentially the largest point difference, but this game right here might be the worst point difference in the week, and I feel bad for it. The 12-point favorite Dallas Cowboys traveling to the Arizona Cardinals. Josh Dobbs against this defense. Luke, probably don't say much, but what you thinking?
So this could be, I don't think it'll happen, but it could be a potential upset for Dallas. Cardinals are playing hard, so it's possible, but I doubt it.
Lock it in. Lock it in.
No, I got
it. Put it on the receipt. Put it on the
receipt.
Ring them up, Mark.
No, potential upset. So I put Dallas an upset alert. But I still think they win the game. I think it's going to be a little closer than everybody thinks it is. I got Dallas by 10, 27-20. I'll go 7-point win. So 27-20, Dallas over Cardinals. Cardinals are going to come out and fight again, probably lose it in the second half. Dallas defense is going to eat in the second half. So that's where I got.
Not going to say much.
Dallas defense is going to carry this game.
Not going to say much. Cowboys 27-20.
27-20. Dallas.
Yeah, I'm not going to say much here. I'm not going to say much here, boys. I have the Cowboys 34-17. This defense tears through this offense. Go Dallas.
Yeah, I'll keep it short too. I have I'm going to change it up a little bit here. I'm going to go Dallas 31-15. Yeah, I mean, Dak hasn't had to do much this year, so that's what's really going to make it is if he coming out and having to play. If the defense comes out playing like they have, this could be another defensive game that just holds it down for Dallas. But, this is way too lopsided. I just want to be close.
All I have to say is Dallas has outscored their opponent 70-10. Cowboys won 31-10.
Yep, that's God. Yeah,
that's literally all you have to say.
It'd be great for my fantasy.
And I know what Doc was thinking whenever I said this could be the largest point game. He was thinking about I was going to say this game next. But the Chicago Bears traveling to Arrowhead to face the 12.5-point favorite Kansas City Chiefs. The Bears are 0-2. The Chiefs are 1-1. Do the Bears get off the schneid, Luke?
No, Bears lose again, but I think it's closer than the 12 points. I'm going to have it at I'm going to go 31-20 Kansas City. So just under. But Kansas City is going to be Patrick Mahomes is going to pick apart the Bears defense, and the Kansas City's defense is going to be too overwhelming for Fields in this game. He's going to get eaten up. I don't think they're going to be able to keep him inside the pocket. Not going to be able to use his best asset, which is his legs. So Kansas City's going to get the job done. They're at Kansas City. Very tough to beat them at Kansas City at Old Burrowhead. It's like the Burrow likes to call it, but Burrowhead my ass.
Yeah.
So Kansas City.
I have a little more respect for the Bears just by 1 point. I have them losing by 10. I think this is a perfect game for Patrick Mahomes and this offense to find some rhythm. This is like playing against a college team at the moment. They're going to take advantage of it. I have the Kansas City Chiefs scoring 34 points this week. Big offensive game. I think the Bears do score 24, but give me the Kansas City Chiefs. Patrick Mahomes have over 350 yards. Travis Kelce have over 120 yards. And I think they'll even have a running back in the 100 yards too. Give me the Kansas City Chiefs by 10.
Let's get Kadarius Toney rolling. Let's go.
Let's not do that. Let's not do that. But no, I'm taking Kansas City as well. I got them 31-21. The Bears, and honestly, it might even be more out of hand than that. The Bears are dealing with a lot of injury problems right now. Nate Davis was dealing with a death in the family last week. He should be back this week. Eddie Jackson's out. Kyler Gordon. I mean, we got a lot of holes on defense. Darnell Mooney's questionable this week. There's so many iffy situations going on in Chicago right now. I mean, they've got the potential to hold their own, not win this game, I don't think, but hold their own against what I think is not a very strong Kansas City defense. But Mahomes is going to slice and dice this defense because we just have no defense right now.
Yeah, the experiment over in Chicago is over. Justin Fields is not a passing quarterback. He's a run-first quarterback. So I think the staff needs to realize that and just let him run again like he did last year. He looks miserable in the pocket. He looks like either A, he can't read a defense, or B, he doesn't have faith or trust in himself to throw a ball. So I don't know which one it is. He looks bad. I know you're a fan, but you have to say he looks bad in the pocket.
He does, but it doesn't help when we got 2 or 3, fifths of the offensive line out last week. Like I said, Nate Davis is out. Darnell Wright has been in and out. It's just been I'm sorry, no, not Darnell Wright. Who was the other? We had another tackle that was out last week as well. When we're having to shift up the offensive line every couple of plays because somebody else is getting hurt, the pressure, the protection just isn't there for him. So, I mean, when you're playing on the run every single time and design plays that are not vertical up the field, I mean, that's what's going to happen. You're going to get the check down. I think he looks a lot better than he has in the past as far as holding his own and being a quarterback first. Not that he is looking like that, but it definitely looks stronger than it has in the past. But they got to protect him, man. And until they find a way to protect him, it's hard to step up and be a pocket passer or be willing to take those hits. I mean, he got sacked, 6 times last week?
Yeah.
They got to do a better job protecting you. If you put the line around him, they did a great job investing in the offensive line this year with a draft pick, signing Nate Davis. If you get the protection around him, he will eventually settle into his own and become a passer. But that's where our biggest struggle has been since drafting him.
Yeah, I have the Chiefs winning 38-17.
You're a son of a bitch.
Same score as the Dolphins-Broncos game. And shout out to you, Riz, too. I will say I'll give you your flowers. You have been right so far. I've been wrong with pretty much the whole 4 of us. But moving on to Sunday Night Football, old school rivalry, back in the 70s, and a team that usually beats the Pittsburgh Steelers, it seems like recently, the Las Vegas Raiders, 2.5-point favorites at home in Allegiant Stadium, hosting the Pittsburgh Steelers, also 1-1.
Yeah, this is a coin toss for me. This game can go either way, but 2 weeks in a row in prime time for the Pittsburgh Steelers. I think they figured it out this week. I think they get the win. Hate to say it, but I'd love to see them lose, but I think they win this week. Kenny Pickett's going to figure it out, and their offensive coordinator's fight for his job here. They're saying fire him in the stands last week. So I'm going to go Pittsburgh 24-21.
Yeah, I have the Pittsburgh Steelers winning by 4 as well, Luke. I have 27-23. I think the offense will find a little rhythm going here. I think the Broncos defense isn't as good as we thought they were after week 1 playing against the Broncos, but that's also the Buffalo Bills too. So maybe it's just the middle team of the Broncos and Bills. It's definitely the Steelers, but Steelers defense is phenomenal. We saw what they did. I was wrong on my overreaction. TJ Watt should probably be the MVP, not Micah Parsons, but Micah Parsons should be number 2. So I'm going to go TJ Watt and the Pittsburgh Steelers 27-23.
Yeah, no, I think Pittsburgh got lucky last week. I think that they edged one out late. I think it was just sloppy enough from Cleveland. They kind of gave that game away. Pittsburgh didn't win that game. Cleveland lost it. I'm taking Las Vegas in a very low scoring game in this one, 19-15. I'll take him at home. Pittsburgh is not everything that I think they were cracked up to be. This is a Thursday night game. Let's be real. This is what should be shown on Amazon in true fashion. This is just going to be a uneventful offensive game, very boring to watch. The only thing that I have going is, let's see, we have Deontay Johnson is out for Pittsburgh, but I think that Devontae Adams and hopefully Jacoby Myers is back. Need a good game from him, and I think that they're going to help get Garoppolo off the ground and carry this offense. And I think Jacobs needs to figure out what the hell he's doing out there, because that man is off to the slowest start in the NFL right now at 28 carries for 46 yards. I mean, dude, less than 2 yards a carry? We got to figure that out.
Yeah,
always running backs for fight for money.
Can't figure out why they're not getting it. Can't figure out why
the ones that fight.
Can't do shit.
All the ones that are fighting for money are either hurt or the production's not there.
Yeah, I don't know. Like Luke said, I don't know how the fuck Matt Canada has a job right now. I mean, the offensive play call has been atrocious for the Steelers. Kenny Pickett hasn't been looking very good. I don't think he's been good. I don't think he ever was good. I think Pittsburgh picked him because the draft class was shit that year, and he was a hometown boy. So I don't think I don't know. I don't trust him. Najee Harris doesn't look like he's Najee Harris either. I mean, yesterday he looked like the fat Eddie Lacy pretty much. I think I could step out and outrun him right now. Like, that's how slow he looked on the field. He did. I mean, y'all could disagree or agree with me,
really
but like,
that was fucking spot on.
Yeah, but like the play where he like ran to the left, like the same play that Ford pretty much broke his 70-yard runoff, and he pretty much had the same run, but he looked like he was running like a fucking turtle out there. Like, he might be the slowest running back ever. Yeah, he looks horrible.
Yeah, he's definitely been looking disappointing, and that's going to fuel this game just being an offensive disappointment. The worst part is going to make the defenses look so good, but in reality, the offense is just so shitty. I mean, the defense just got to take the field, and you'll shut them down.
Yeah, but I mean, after shitting on Pittsburgh, I do have them winning 27-20. Paige has Las Vegas winning too, by the way.
All right, moving on to our first of our 2 Monday night games, the 5-point favorite 2-0 Philadelphia Eagles traveling to Tampa Bay to face the 2-0 Baker Mayfield Buccaneers. Luke, are you riding with Baker or are you riding with Jalen Hurts?
Yeah, I mean, this is my upset of the week right here. So I'm going Tampa Bay in the upset, in the Bay, at old Ray J. Philadelphia, I don't think they've been as impressive as everybody thinks they are. They played a very close game against New England. Then their game last week, it was against Kirk Cousins in prime time, so I wouldn't put too much on that. Their defense isn't super impressive, and I think Tampa's defense is will be able to keep Hurts in check a little bit more than he's had to experience so far going on this season. So I'm going to go Tampa Bay at home in prime time. Baker Daddy Mayfield gets win number 3 on his way to 9+ wins this season. I'm going to go 28-24 Tampa Bay.
I like your assessment, Luke, but I'm opposite of the assessment. I think that Baker's going to feel pressure he has not felt all year against this phenomenal Eagles defense and the front seven they have. I know they lost Maddox in the secondary for the year, but I think it's going to be lower scoring than that. I think it's going to be 24-17 Philly. I trust Jalen Hurts just more than I trust Baker Mayfield. Plus, I think the Eagles defense is better than the Bucs defense. I think it's going to be close, though, and I would not be surprised if Baker and the boys pulled out. But I'm going with the NFC reigning champions by 7 in the Bay.
Yeah, I'm with the Eagles as well, 30-24. I think offensively, I mean, just all the way around, the Eagles are a better team. I mean, defensively, they have not looked it on the pass defense so far this year, but their defense is phenomenal. They've been shutting down the run to 52 yards a game. Baker Mayfield has looked very good this year. The defense has looked very good, but I think that Eagles have no problem getting through that. I want to see Jalen Hurts. Like, I don't understand, and this is where I think that Jalen Hurts is overrated as a quarterback. because like with the weapons that you have and to continuously rely on your running. I mean, you had 3,700 passing yards last year, 22 touchdowns. I mean, this is a guy that should easily be hitting 4,500 passing yards a year, 30 touchdowns. I mean, this shouldn't be as low a number as passing the ball as it has been. The completion percentage has been going up every single year, but I want to see him start to pass the ball more and rely on those receivers and Dallas Goedert and really be that explosive. I mean, they're already explosive offensively, but that explosive passing team that they can be.
Yeah, I mean, the Eagles are struggling this year. I mean, I know they're 2-0, but it's showing that they did replace both their coordinators. I mean, the offense is looking like they need to still work out some kinks. Jalen Hurts isn't looking like he's Jalen Hurts with the pass game, not getting A.J. Brown involved, but they're getting Devontae Smith involved, which is huge. The defense, I mean, I don't think the secondary is as good as everyone's hyping them up to be. I think they have a lot of holes there. But like you said, Mark, the front seven, I think that's the deadliest front seven, like behind Washington. I mean, they have grown-ass fucking men out there playing against little kids.
Okay, every team is grown men, but yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, I know that, but like they're playing insane. And every game they played so far, I mean, the other team has had a chance to win against the Vikings and the Bears. No, not the Vikings and the Bears. That's Tampa's. The Patriots
Eagles.
and the Vikings.
Yeah, Patriots.
Yeah. I mean, both of them had a shot to beat the Eagles. I think Tampa's going to get their first real test. I think we'll see that the O-line is going to struggle. I think Baker's going to get pressure, like you said. I think it's going to be close. I'm taking Tampa on the spread, but I think Eagles win 24-20.
No, you're absolutely right, though. You nailed it with that front seven. I mean, they are absolutely just racing down the street.
And I know we're going to do some fantasy starts and sits tomorrow, but I'll give you a quick early one if you're listening out there. A.J. Brown's going to do better than Devontae Smith because A.J. Brown got in Jalen Hurts' face on the sideline last week. Probably woke him up a little bit, saw, damn, A.J. Brown's a big motherfucker, and he's not playing around. I expect A.J. Brown to have a pretty big game compared to Devontae Smith.
Did you see the coach try to lie on the fucking press conference that he didn't know what the fight was about? And then the reporter called him out and was like, but you're the one that went and broke it up.
We know, yeah, we all know what the fight was about. Like, damn sure he better know what it's about. Moving on to our last game, the 0-2 Cincinnati Bengals hosting the Los Angeles Rams, who sit at 1-1. The Cincinnati Bengals are 2.5-point favorites at home.
Also another toss-up game for me. I don't know the extent of Joe Burrow's injury. I don't know if he's going to be week 1-2 Joe Burrow or he's going to be week 3 Joe Burrow. So I think it's up in the air. If Joe Burrow, I think this game ultimately rides on how Joe Burrow plays. If he plays good, Bengals win. If he plays bad, Rams win. Rams offense is looking pretty good so far. Got a couple no-name guys, fucking putting up some big numbers with the Rams. So I think Joe Burrow's injury is a little bit worse than what they're trying to report it. It just is a little calf strain. I think it's a little worse than that. You see him, especially at the second half, near the fourth quarter, Joe Burrow limping pretty hard. So I'm going to go Rams and a close one, upsetting Cincinnati, 24-21.
Yeah, and this is also a rematch of the Super Bowl, the 2021 season, where the Rams won their second Super Bowl against Joe Burrow and Cincinnati Bengals. Little different team with the Rams, not the same squad they once had. But, yeah, Luke, I'm going with the upset of the week, too. This is my upset. I had the Los Angeles Rams and Matthew Stafford coming into the jungle and, taking this game. I think Stafford's looked good. Yeah, I know they kind of had a second-half disappointment last week against the 49ers, but this Bengals team's not the 49ers. I have the Rams winning 30-27. Expect a big game for Matthew Stafford, Kyron Williams, and Puka Nacua.
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and take the disappointment by picking wrong on this team for the third time this season in 3 weeks. And I'm going to take the Cincinnati Bengals 23-20. Every bit of me wants to go with the Rams, but I think that the Bengals are just going to come out so hungry. I think Luke nailed it with the, which Joe Burrow's coming out here as far as health. But if a healthy Joe Burrow comes out, this is the week I think that they go off and they kind of get back into form. And, I mean, they're hungry. They're pissed. I see Jamar Chase over 100 yards. I see Joe Mixon getting involved again. But no, the defense for the Rams looked phenomenal. Matthew Stafford has looked like Matthew Stafford of old, just not putting up the points. Only one touchdown for him this year. So seeing, extend the plays and seeing him getting the ball into the end zone would be nice for him. But yeah, ready for disappointment.
Yeah,
Cincy 23-20.
Keep Jamar Chase out of your parlays. Keep him out.
Yeah, he's fucked me 2 weeks in a row, but he's also fucking me on fantasy, so real excited for that. Thanks, Jamar.
Yeah, I mean, the big question is Joe Burrow going to play? I mean, I think, like Luke hinted to, I think it's a lot more than a high ankle sprain. I mean, he doesn't look comfortable out there. Every time he goes to the sideline, he's rubbing his leg. I don't think a couple days rest is going to heal it if 3 weeks of not practicing during the preseason didn't heal it. So if they force him out there, he's not going to be healthy. If they sit him, then you have the backup that's never played a single NFL game. Matthew Stafford's out there. That old man's fucking clicking with these young guys. I mean, they're looking great out there. What?
Calf issue.
Yeah, but didn't they come out and say it was a high ankle sprain when he injured it in preseason?
He had that Theragun on his calf.
Yeah, calf, I thought, the whole time.
Yeah.
No, he re-aggravated the calf injury from before the season.
Gotcha. I thought they said it was whatever. But I have the Rams.
They're attached to each other.
They're right next to each other.
They're neighbors.
Yeah, I have the Rams winning the 27-21.
Let's go.
Damn, Chris has Joe Burrow going 0-3. Doc's the only guy on the Bengals here.
I'm just gonna go fuck myself.
I'm picking with Joe not playing, so they'd be smart not to play him.
Oh, Browning got some action week 1. Don't sleep on him.
He hasn't started though.
It took a little longer than we thought. The only thing I wanted to hammer real quick, it doesn't have to be long, is I thought, looking back at it again, the Fitzpatrick hit on Nick Chubb. I'm not saying he had intent to go after that leg and hurt him, but that was a dirty hit. The man's wrapped up, and you go straight into the kneecap area. I get it; it's football. Let the boys play. But I mean, these are your brothers out here, and you're gonna go after some guy's leg and potentially ruin his career. That's sad if he was doing it on purpose, because that looked very nasty.
What do you have to say about that, Chris?
I mean, why me? I mean, I think just considering the fact that
I'm just curious, Bountygate.
Shut the fuck up. Every team does Bountygate. We just got caught. But I think considering the fact that this is the same leg that he also dislocated and tore all his ligaments in college, this definitely could be a career ender. I think it definitely was a dirty hit. I think Fitzpatrick got karma because he fucking had to go rush to the hospital. So, I mean, at least his career's not ended, and he'll probably be back on the field this season. Unfortunately, Nick Chubb will not be chubbing it out.
Yeah.
It's honestly, it's extremely disappointing. I mean, Chubb has been so electric and so fun to watch since he came into the league. And I mean, this is probably, I've been a huge Nick Chubb fan going back to Georgia and when he started in the league. And this is like one of the most disappointing injuries that I've seen from the NFL in quite a long time, almost going back to like the promise Johnny Knox had on the Bears when he got folded like a fucking lawn chair. Shout out to him. He's walking again. God bless him. But yeah, you hate to see it. I mean, as far as it being a dirty hit, I mean, dude, there's dirty hits left and right. You know what I mean? You constantly see people. Yeah, you constantly see people
tomorrow. So.
Yeah, you constantly see people going at the legs. I'm not even talking late hits, but I mean, just going for the legs, trying to take them out at the knees. I mean, it's part of the game. It sucks, but it is what it is.
Yeah, I don't think it was probably a dirty hit, but I don't think it was like that intentional. Like, I don't think he meant to hurt him. Nick Chubb, you got to think Nick Chubb is a hard dude to tackle. So him being wrapped up doesn't mean he's really going to go down. So I mean, that could be him just trying to clear him up, make sure he does go down. So.
I don't think the intent was there to be dirty.
Yeah, I'm not saying. I'm sorry. I don't think it was intent. I thought at first maybe he was going because you're supposed to go lower, and Nick Chubb was probably he thought was going to go lower than him. It's kind of got wrapped up. Yeah,
I mean he's in the pile with all that, so it's hard to see. He's trying to hit whatever he can, try not to fucking hit him in the head. And Nick Chubb's he's not he has a very low he runs pretty low to the ground, so being wrapped up pretty low, so not a lot of area to hit. I'd have to look at the hit a couple more times to really tell, but
Yeah, I'm done looking at that
Sucks.
hit because the whole
it's-
leg is like a fucking banana peel. And
Yeah,
I can't. I'm
Sucks
good.
to see one of the top running backs go down, but I don't think Fitzpatrick's intentions were bad. I think it just the way it happened.
I just want to
Tough
say
to see
before
if you're
we
a
sign out.
fantasy owner too.
Well, speaking of that, I want to say something to you, Nick Chubb. This is coming from the heart of an Atlanta Falcons fan. Thank you for 2018. You helped me win my only fantasy championship. And thank you. My team name was Chubby Chodes, named after you. You were a rookie. I got you on a steal of a trade. Gave up Julian Edelman for Nick Chubb before Nick Chubb broke out. And thank you, Nick Chubb. I love you. Always will. Sad day. Sad day for me.
I was 3/4 Chubb when I had him years ago.
Yeah, but boys, big week in football. Shout out to all your teams. Hopefully you guys do good. Doc, hopefully you guys get on the win train.
Hopefully,
Chris,
keep
good
it
luck.
close.
Good luck at Lambeau. Hopefully we taught you a thing or two about the Packers. And Luke, good luck with whoever's playing quarterback for the Indianapolis Colts. But this is All About the Balls podcast. That's Chris Meinhardt. That's Luke Rule. Nick the Doc Skirkwitz. I'm Mark Davis, and we are out. Thank you for checking out another episode of All About the Balls podcast. We want to thank all of our listeners and supporters of the Sack House. You can listen to the show on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube. And don't forget to subscribe and give us a follow on Twitter and Instagram at the Sack House.